Hello, kids! Welcome, everyone! If you're ready, we have a brand new story for you today. Before we dive into the tale, you can support us by liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. Let's start our story adventure. Are you ready?
Today, we present to you the story we prepared, Heroes of Rainbow Lands. Let's begin. Chapter 1, Journey to Rainbow Land. The sun bathed the forest greenery in golden light as Lily and Ethan wandered together. At one point, through the dense bushes, they saw a shimmering beam of light. Curiously, they followed the light and were amazed by the scene that unfolded before them. A portal stood there, as if it opened beyond time and space. Lily reached out her hand, curiously touching the light with her fingers, and suddenly prepared for the scenery before her. Ethan, right behind her, blinked and looked around. Suddenly, a series of colorful light beams enveloped them, and they felt as if they had instantly changed places. When they opened their eyes, a magical world appeared. They were in a valley filled with colorful flowers. The sky looked as if it had been painted with the brush of an artist, with vibrant hues. Lush green meadows, sparkling rivers, and trees in every imaginable color. Everything was extraordinarily beautiful. Suddenly, the flapping of wings and the cheerful voice of a bird approaching quickly startled them. An owl with open wings looked around with a cheerful demeanor. "Hello," it exclaimed, flapping its wings together. "I'm Skye, the guide of Rainbow Land. It's wonderful to see you here." Lily and Ethan rubbed their eyes and looked around more carefully. "Rainbow Land?" Ethan asked in surprise. Skye smiled and nodded. "Yes, this is Rainbow Land. Here, everything is colorful and magical. But unfortunately, this magic is in danger lately." The serious expression of the bird caught the children's attention. "What do you mean?" Lily asked with concern. Skye thought for a moment and then continued. "The colors of Rainbow Land have started to fade, and its energy is diminishing. We need a hero to save this land." Lily and Ethan, wide-eyed, looked at each other. They realized that being here meant they had a role to play in the salvation of this magical world. Skye asked them for help and explained that their first task was to find Fairy Ella, the guardian of Rainbow Land. With the sunlight streaming around them, Lily and Ethan exchanged determined looks, ready to embark on this magical adventure. Skye immediately sprang into action to help them and began guiding them to find the rainbow path. Lily and Ethan set out together. Each step brought them closer to this magical realm. But ahead lay an unknown adventure and a path filled with challenges. Chapter 2, The Enchanted Forest. Lily and Ethan stepped onto the rainbow path, their hearts pounding with excitement and anticipation. The path was a dazzling array of colors, like a river of light flowing through the land. Skye fluttered above them, guiding them with cheerful chirps and wise advice. As they ventured deeper into Rainbow Land, the vibrant scenery gradually transformed into a dense forest. The trees here were unlike any they had ever seen, with leaves that shimmered in various hues and trunks that seemed to whisper ancient secrets. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the melodious songs of unseen creatures. "Stay close," Skye advised. "The enchanted forest is beautiful, but it can be tricky to navigate." The forest seemed alive, with branches that gently swayed and leaves that rustled as if sharing secrets. As they walked, Lily noticed that the path ahead was forked. "Which way should we go?" she asked, looking at Skye. Before Skye could answer, a soft giggle echoed through the trees. "This way," a voice called out. Ethan and Lily exchanged curious glances and cautiously followed the sound. They soon found themselves in a clearing surrounded by glowing mushrooms and fireflies that danced in the twilight. Sitting on a large mushroom was a small creature with wings like a butterfly's and eyes that sparkled with mischief. "Welcome to the enchanted forest," she exclaimed. I'm Faye, and I can help you find Fairytale. Skye looked skeptical but nodded. Faye knows the forest well. But be careful, she loves to play tricks. Faye fluttered her wings and laughed. I promise to be on my best behavior. Follow me. As they followed Faye deeper into the forest, the path became more winding and overgrown. They had to duck under low branches and step over twisted roots. Despite the challenges, the forest's beauty was mesmerizing. The trees seemed to glow with an inner light, and every now and then, they glimpsed small, curious creatures peeking out from behind the foliage. Look at that. Ethan pointed to a cluster of flowers that were changing colors before their eyes. This place is incredible. Faye led them to a serene pond with crystal clear water. This is the reflection pond, she explained. It shows your true self. Lily and Ethan looked into the pond. At first, they saw their own reflections, but then the images changed. They saw themselves standing strong and confident, facing challenges with bravery and kindness. The visions gave them a sense of determination and purpose. Wow, Lily whispered. We really can do this. Encouraged by the pond's message, they continued their journey. But soon, the forest grew darker and the air became cooler. They heard strange noises, rustling leaves, distant howls, and the occasional snap of a twig. Lily and Ethan stayed close together, their eyes darting around nervously. Faye's playful demeanor shifted to one of concern. We must hurry, she urged. This part of the forest is not as friendly. As they hurried along the path, they came across a large tree with a hollow trunk. Skye suggested they take a short rest inside. The hollow was spacious and provided a moment of respite from the growing darkness outside. I think we're being followed, Ethan whispered. I keep hearing footsteps behind us. Skye nodded. The enchanted forest has its guardians. They're testing us to see if we're worthy. After a brief rest, they continued their journey. The forest seemed to grow even more tangled and confusing. Just when they thought they were hopelessly lost, they heard a gentle, melodious voice singing. Following the sound, they emerged into a beautiful glade bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glade stood a graceful figure with shimmering wings and a radiant aura. Fairytale! Skye exclaimed, fluttering with excitement. Fairytale turned to them, her eyes filled with warmth and wisdom. Welcome, Lily and Ethan, she said. I have been expecting you. Lily and Ethan stepped forward, feeling a mix of awe and relief. We've come to ask for your help, Lily began. Rainbow Land is in danger, and we need to restore its magic. Fairytale Nadid. I know, and I am here to guide you. But first, you must prove your bravery and purity of heart. The enchanted forest has tested you well. Now, you must pass one final challenge. She gestured to a large, ancient tree at the edge of the glade. Within that tree lies the heart of the forest. You must retrieve it and bring it to me. It will show me that you are truly worthy. Lily and Ethan exchanged determined glances and approached the tree. The entrance was narrow, and they had to squeeze through. Inside, the tree was hollow and filled with a soft, glowing light. At the center, they saw a small, pulsing crystal, the heart of the forest. As they reached out to take it, the ground beneath them shook, and they heard a low growl. Emerging from the shadows was a large, menacing creature with glowing red eyes. You shall not take the heart, it roared. Lily and Ethan stood their ground, holding hands tightly. We need this to save Rainbow Land, Ethan declared, his voice steady despite the fear he felt. The creature paused, studying them with its piercing gaze. Finally, it nodded. Your courage and determination are clear. Take the heart and go. With the heart of the forest in their possession, they returned to Fairytale. She smiled warmly and said, You have proven yourselves worthy. The heart of the forest will help restore Rainbow Land's magic. But this is just the beginning of your journey. As they left the enchanted forest, the trees seemed to wave them goodbye, and the path ahead glowed brighter than before. Lily and Ethan felt a renewed sense of purpose and were ready for the challenges that lay ahead. Chapter 3: The Crystal Cave Adventure. Lily and Ethan, feeling invigorated by their success in the enchanted forest, followed Fairy Ella as she led them toward their next destination. The path was bathed in the soft glow of twilight, and the air was filled with a sense of anticipation. Skye fluttered above them, offering guidance and encouragement. Fairy Ella explained, the heart of the forest was just the beginning. To fully restore Rainbow Land, you must retrieve the Crystal of Harmony from the Crystal Cave. It's a powerful artifact that maintains the balance of our world. As they walked, the landscape began to change. The lush greenery of the forest gave way to rocky terrain, and the air grew cooler. They soon found themselves at the entrance of a massive cave. The mouth of the cave was adorned with shimmering crystals that reflected the light in a dazzling array of colors. "This is the Crystal Cave," Fairy Ella said, her voice echoing softly. "Inside, you will face trials that test your bravery, intelligence, and teamwork. Remember, the Crystal of Harmony is protected by ancient magic. Only those who are pure of heart can retrieve it." Lily and Ethan exchanged determined glances and stepped into the cave. As they ventured deeper, the light from the entrance dimmed, and the path ahead was illuminated by the soft glow of the crystals embedded in the walls. The cave was eerily silent, except for the occasional drip of water and the echo of their footsteps. Skye, perched on Ethan's shoulder, whispered, "Stay close and be alert. The cave has a way of playing tricks on you." The first challenge they encountered was a series of crystal bridges spanning a deep chasm. The bridges were transparent and appeared fragile. Lily took a deep breath and stepped onto the first bridge. It swayed slightly, but held firm. "We can do this," she said, encouraging Ethan to follow. Step by step, they crossed the bridges, their hearts pounding with each movement. About halfway across, the air grew colder and a thick fog began to form, obscuring their view. Ethan stumbled, but Lily grabbed his arm, steadying him. "We have to stay together," she said firmly. With Skye's guidance, they made it across the bridges and continued deeper into the cave. The fog lifted, revealing a grand chamber filled with towering crystal formations. The crystals emitted a soft, harmonious hum, creating a calming atmosphere. In the center of the chamber stood a pedestal with an ancient riddle inscribed on it. Lily read aloud, "To find the crystal pure and bright, solve this riddle with all your might. What is it that you must keep after you give it to someone else?" Ethan thought for a moment and then smiled. "A promise," he said confidently. As he spoke the word, the pedestal glowed, and a hidden door opened, revealing a narrow passageway. They entered the passageway and found themselves in a smaller chamber where the Crystal of Harmony rested on a crystalline altar. The crystal was magnificent, radiating a rainbow of colors and filling the room with a serene light. Just as they approached the altar, the ground shook and a deep voice echoed through the chamber. "Only those who are truly worthy may take the Crystal of Harmony." A figure emerged from the shadows, a majestic, translucent guardian made entirely of crystal. Its eyes glowed with an ancient wisdom. "You have faced many trials to reach this point. To prove your worth, you must show the strength of your hearts." Lily and Ethan stood tall, holding hands. "We've come to restore Rainbow Land," Lily said with determination. "We promise to use the Crystal of Harmony for good and to protect this land." The guardian studied them for a moment, then nodded. "Your hearts are pure, and your intentions are true. You may take the crystal." With reverence, Lily and Ethan approached the altar. They carefully lifted the Crystal of Harmony, feeling its warm, soothing energy flow through them. As they held it, the crystal emitted a brilliant light, and the chamber was filled with a melodic harmony that resonated through the cave. Fairy Ella, who had been watching from the entrance, smiled warmly. "You have done well, my brave adventurers. The crystal of harmony will restore balance to Rainbow Land, but there is still more to be done." With the crystals safely in their possession, they began their journey back out of the cave. The path seemed less daunting now, as if the cave itself was guiding them safely to the exit. When they emerged into the daylight, they were greeted by a breathtaking sight. The landscape around them was already beginning to flourish, as if the crystal's power was awakening the land. "Your journey is not yet over," Fairy Ella said, her voice filled with hope. "There are still other challenges ahead, and you must remain vigilant. But with the Crystal of Harmony, you have taken a great step towards saving Rainbow Land." Lily and Ethan nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. They knew that together, with their courage, intelligence, and the help of their friends, they could overcome any obstacle. The adventure was far from over, but they were ready for whatever lay ahead. Chapter 4: The Labyrinth of Wisdom. With the Crystal of Harmony safely in their possession, Lily, Ethan, and Skye followed Fairy Ella towards the next destination, the Labyrinth of Wisdom. As they journeyed, the landscape changed once again. The rocky terrain smoothed out, giving way to lush meadows and gently rolling hills. The air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers and the distant hum of bees. Fairy Ella spoke as they walked. "The Labyrinth of Wisdom is a place of great knowledge and enlightenment. To navigate it, you must use both your intellect and your heart. It will test your problem-solving skills, your patience, and your ability to work together." The sun was beginning to set when they finally arrived at the entrance of the labyrinth. The structure was massive, with high stone walls covered in ivy and moss. At the entrance, an ancient archway was inscribed with runes that glowed faintly in the twilight. "This is the Labyrinth of Wisdom," Fairy Ella said solemnly. "Once you enter, you must rely on your wits and each other to find the way through. Beware of distractions and illusions. They are meant to lead you astray. Only by staying true to your purpose can you reach the center." Lily and Ethan exchanged determined glances and stepped through the archway. As they did, the runes glowed brighter and the entrance sealed behind them with a soft rumble. The path before them was narrow and winding, flanked by tall hedges that seemed to whisper in the breeze. "Stay close," Skye advised, flying above them. "Remember, trust each other and use your hearts as much as your minds." As they ventured deeper into the labyrinth, they encountered their first challenge. The path split into 3 directions, each leading to a different part of the maze. Above each path was a riddle inscribed on a stone tablet. Lily read the first riddle aloud. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Ethan thought for a moment. "An echo," he answered confidently. The stone tablet glowed, and the path on the left opened, revealing the next part of the labyrinth. They continued onward, encountering more riddles and puzzles at each turn. Some required careful thought and discussion, while others tested their memory and observational skills. At one point, they reached a large courtyard filled with statues of mythical creatures. Each statue held a different object: a scroll, a key, a book, and a feather. In the center of the courtyard was a pedestal with an inscription: "Choose the symbol of wisdom." Lily and Ethan examined each statue carefully. "The scroll represents knowledge," Lily mused. "The key could symbolize unlocking secrets. The book is definitely a symbol of learning. And the feather, maybe it represents thoughts or ideas?" Ethan nodded. "But which one is the right choice?" Skye fluttered closer to the pedestal. "Remember, Wisdom is not just about knowledge, but understanding and insight. Lily's eyes lit up. The feather. It represents wisdom because it's about ideas and understanding. They placed the feather on the pedestal, and the ground beneath them rumbled as a hidden door opened, revealing a staircase leading further into the labyrinth. As they descended, the air grew cooler and the light dimmed. They found themselves in a vast library filled with ancient books and scrolls. The walls were lined with shelves that stretched up to the ceiling, and the air was thick with the scent of old paper and ink. "This is incredible," Ethan whispered in awe. "There must be centuries of knowledge here." In the center of the library stood a grand, ornate desk with an open book on it. As they approached, the book's pages began to turn on their own, finally stopping on a blank page. Words began to appear on the page in shimmering script. To proceed, share a story of wisdom learned from your own journey. Lily and Ethan looked at each other, then began to recount their adventures so far, the trials they had faced in the enchanted forest and the crystal cave, the lessons of bravery, teamwork, and trust. As they spoke, the book absorbed their words, the blank pages filling with their story. When they finished, the book glowed brightly and a hidden passage opened behind the desk. They followed it, their hearts filled with the lessons they had just shared. The passage led them to the heart of the labyrinth, a tranquil garden bathed in soft, golden light. In the center of the garden stood a tall, elegant tree with silver leaves that shimmered like stars. At the base of the tree was a small, intricately carved box. "This is the wisdom tree," Skye explained. "The box contains the seed of knowledge, which you must take to help restore Rainbow Land." Lily and Ethan approached the tree reverently. As they opened the box, a single, glowing seed lay inside. They carefully took the seed of knowledge, feeling its warmth and energy. With the seed safely in their possession, they made their way back through the labyrinth. The path seemed clearer now, as if the labyrinth itself was guiding them towards the exit. When they finally emerged, the sun was rising, casting a golden light over Rainbow Land. Fairy Ella greeted them with a radiant smile. "You have done well, my brave adventurers. The seed of knowledge will help restore wisdom and balance to our world. But your journey is not yet over. There are still more challenges ahead, and you must continue to rely on each other." Lily and Ethan nodded, their resolve stronger than ever. They knew that with the Crystal of Harmony and the Seed of Knowledge, they were well on their way to saving Rainbow Land. The adventure was far from over, but they were ready for whatever lay ahead. Chapter 5: The Stormy Seas. With the Crystal of Harmony and the Seed of Knowledge securely in their possession, Lily, Ethan, and Skye felt a renewed sense of purpose as they followed Fairy Ella to their next destination. The path ahead led them towards the coast, where the calm land met the vast and unpredictable ocean. "The next part of your journey will take you across the stormy seas," Fairy Ella explained. "Beyond these waters lies the Isle of Courage, where you must obtain the heart of bravery. The seas are treacherous and filled with challenges that will test your resolve and bravery." As they approached the shoreline, they saw an ancient, yet sturdy ship waiting for them. Its sails were embroidered with magical symbols, and it seemed to emanate a protective aura. The ship's name, the Braveheart, was etched onto its bow. "This ship will guide you through the stormy seas," said Fairy Ella. "Trust in its magic and in your own courage." Lily and Ethan boarded the ship with Skye perched on the mast, ready to scout ahead. As they set sail, the weather was calm and the sun shone brightly. However, Fairy Ella's words echoed in their minds, reminding them to stay vigilant. The first few hours at sea were peaceful. The water sparkled under the sun, and gentle waves lapped against the hull. But as they ventured further, the skies darkened and the wind picked up. Thick, Ominous clouds gathered overhead, and the seas grew rough. "Here comes the storm," Ethan said, gripping the railing as the ship began to rock. Skye flew down to them. "We must stay focused and work together. The brave heart will help us, but we need to steer it through the storm." Suddenly, a massive wave crashed against the ship, sending a spray of seawater over the deck. Lily and Ethan struggled to maintain their balance as the ship pitched and rolled. Thunder rumbled in the distance, and lightning streaked across the sky, illuminating the churning sea. Ethan took the wheel, his knuckles white from the strain. "Lily, adjust the sails. We need to keep the ship steady." Lily nodded, running to the sails and adjusting them to catch the wind just right. Skye flew around the ship, giving directions and keeping a lookout for obstacles. As the storm raged on, they faced numerous challenges. Waves as tall as mountains threatened to capsize the ship, and fierce winds tore at the sails. Yet, through sheer determination and teamwork, they managed to keep the brave heart on course. During a brief lull in the storm, a ghostly ship appeared on the horizon, sailing towards them. It glowed with an eerie light, and its crew consisted of spectral figures. The ghostly captain hailed them, his voice carrying over the tumultuous waters. "Who dares to sail the stormy seas?" he bellowed. "To reach the Isle of Courage, you must prove your bravery by facing your deepest fears." Lily and Ethan stood firm, despite the shivers running down their spines. "We seek the heart of bravery to save Rainbow Land," Lily shouted back. "We will face whatever challenges you throw at us." The ghostly captain nodded, and the spectral crew began to chant. The sea around the brave heart transformed into a swirling vortex, pulling them into a series of trials. First, they were faced with a dark, foggy expanse where eerie whispers and shadows tried to disorient and frighten them. But by holding hands and focusing on their goal, they navigated through the fog together, their bond growing stronger with each step. Next, they encountered a sea monster, its massive tentacles rising from the depths to attack the ship. Ethan grabbed a nearby harpoon, while Lily readied a net. With Skye's guidance, they fought bravely, using their wits and courage to fend off the beast until it finally retreated back into the ocean. The final trial was the most personal. Each of them was confronted by an illusion of their greatest fear. For Lily, it was a vision of losing her family and friends. For Ethan, it was the fear of failure and letting everyone down. Skye saw herself alone, without a flock to guide and protect. To overcome these fears, they had to confront them head-on. Lily reminded herself of the love and strength of her family and friends, knowing they would always be with her in spirit. Ethan found courage in the knowledge that he had already come so far and accomplished so much, and that failure was just a step towards success. Skye remembered the bond she had formed with Lily and Ethan, realizing she was never truly alone. As they faced and overcame their fears, the illusions dissipated and the storm began to clear. The ghostly captain and his crew faded away, leaving behind a calm, clear sea. In the distance, the Isle of Courage came into view, its shores glowing with a golden light. Exhausted but triumphant, Lily and Ethan guided the brave heart to the island. As they set foot on the sandy shore, a sense of accomplishment washed over them. They had braved the stormy seas and proven their courage. At the center of the island, they found a magnificent temple guarded by statues of heroic figures from Rainbow Land's past. Inside, on a pedestal, lay the heart of bravery. It was a radiant gem that pulsed with a warm, fiery light. Lily and Ethan approached the gem with reverence. As they touched it, they felt a surge of bravery and confidence flow through them. The heart of bravery was theirs, a symbol of the courage they had shown and would continue to show on their journey. With the heart of bravery, the crystal of harmony, and the seed of knowledge, they felt closer than ever to their goal of saving Rainbow Land. They knew that the final leg of their journey would be the most challenging yet, but they were ready to face it together. Fairy Ella greeted them as they returned to the ship. "You have done incredibly well, my brave adventurers. The heart of bravery will give you the strength you need for the final challenge. Rest now, for the ultimate test awaits." Lily, Ethan, and Skye nodded, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The adventure was nearing its climax, and they were ready to see it through to the end. Chapter 6: The Final Confrontation. With the heart of bravery in their possession, Lily, Ethan, and Skye felt a renewed sense of determination as they prepared for the final leg of their journey. Guided by Fairy Ella's words, they set sail once again, their destination clear, the Shadow Citadel, where the dark sorcerer Malachi awaited. As they sailed towards the ominous fortress, the landscape around them changed. The sky grew darker, and the air crackled with dark energy. The Shadow Citadel loomed in the distance, its towering spires casting a long shadow over the land. "This is it," Lily said, her voice steady but filled with determination. "Our final challenge awaits us." Ethan nodded, his gaze fixed on the fortress ahead. "We've come too far to turn back now. We must confront Malachi and put an end to his reign of darkness." Skye fluttered beside them, her wings buzzing with nervous energy. "Remember, we have each other. Together, we can overcome anything." As they approached the Shadow Citadel, they were met with a series of dark enchantments and traps designed to thwart intruders. But with the heart of bravery guiding them, they navigated through the maze of illusions and obstacles, their resolve unyielding. At last, they reached the heart of the fortress, where Malachi awaited them in his throne room. The sorcerer's eyes gleamed with malice as he beheld his adversaries. "So, you have come to challenge me," Malachi sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "Fools! You cannot hope to defeat the darkness that I command." But Lily, Ethan, and Skye stood firm, their hearts filled with courage and determination. "We will not let you destroy Rainbow Land," Lily declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "We fight for love, for friendship, and for the light that shines within all of us." Malachi laughed, a cold, sinister sound that echoed through the chamber. "Your words mean nothing to me, foolish mortals. Prepare to face the full force of my power." With a wave of his hand, Malachi unleashed a barrage of dark magic, filling the room with swirling shadows and malevolent energy. Lily, Ethan, and Skye fought bravely, wielding the power of the heart of bravery against the sorcerer's dark spells. But Malachi was a formidable opponent, his magic fueled by centuries of darkness and despair. With each passing moment, the battle grew more intense, the very foundations of the fortress trembling with the force of their clash. In the midst of the chaos, Lily felt a surge of energy welling up within her. Closing her eyes, she reached deep within herself, drawing upon the strength and courage that had carried them through their journey. With a cry of determination, Lily unleashed a powerful burst of light, engulfing Malachi in its radiant glow. The sorcerer recoiled, his dark magic faltering in the face of her unwavering resolve. Realizing that he was outmatched, Malachi retreated, disappearing into the shadows with a final, desperate cry of rage. The fortress began to crumble around them, the darkness receding as the light of dawn broke through the clouds. Lily, Ethan, and Skye emerged from the ruins, their hearts pounding with adrenaline and triumph. Fairy Ella appeared before them, her eyes shining with pride. "You have done it, brave adventurers," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "You have defeated Malachi and restored light to Rainbow Land." Lily and Ethan exchanged a glance, a sense of relief and accomplishment washing over them. They had faced countless challenges and overcome them all, proving the power of courage, friendship, and love. As they looked out over the horizon, they saw the first rays of dawn painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. The world was bathed in light once more, a testament to their bravery and perseverance. With their mission complete, Lily, Ethan, and Skye set sail once again, their hearts full of hope for the future. The adventure may have ended, but their bonds of friendship would endure forever. And so, as they sailed into the dawn of a new day, they knew that wherever their journeys may take them, they would always carry the light of Rainbow Land in their hearts. The end.
We've reached the end of this adventurous journey. Wishing to meet you all again in another story in the future, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Good night, everyone!